Hello, everybody. Welcome back. YouTube.com/Geek Aloud for episode 3 of the Gaming Enforcement Agency. That's right, episode 3. And I'm here with Steve. Hey, Steve. How you doing, man?
Mate, I am very well for what day are we on? We're Monday, aren't we? Monday, 8 p.m.-ish.
8 p.m.-ish. You know, we don't like to be too specific. That could get us in trouble if we were too specific, you see.
Absolutely.
How have you been, mate? It's been quite the week. Whoa, why have I got audio playing?
Mate, it's been a busy week.
Sorry about
Lots of games to play, that's for sure.
There are indeed. There's been heaps. And if you check out the channel, you'll see Steve and I actually played some Back 4 Blood last night. But that is not where we're starting, of course. Today, we are starting with, and I need to hit a fancy new button on my finger. Is this going to work? Today, we're starting with Far Cry 6. And it worked. Gotta love that. Steve, Far Cry 6. I don't know about you, mate. I've poured about 20 more hours into it this week alone, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's got its hooks well and truly into me, sir. I can't stop thinking about it when I'm not actually playing it. Are you on a similar cadence with it?
Mate, well, let's interrogate and deliberate on that, shall we?
Let's indeed.
Yeah, mate, I've probably put through, probably not that many, actually, I'd say probably a few hours, probably not 20 hours, maybe 12 to 15 hours.
I thought you were going to say probably not 20, more like 18.
I was like, it's not you kind of returnal hours, like 450, whatever that was. But no, loving my time with Far Cry, and I was just playing it today. I'm like, and I tried to actually go back to Deathloop, and for some reason, the gameplay in Far Cry, like I preferred playing this in terms of a stealth action game instead of the stealth in Deathloop. I mean, 100%. I don't know whether it's something about using a silenced weapon, which makes stealth way more fun, but I know there's a stealth nail gun in Deathloop that you can get, but it's just not satisfying. The fact that you can link two enemies up in Deathloop and then shoot them, but then you give away your position because you're using a loud weapon, I don't find that as fun.
Yeah, I agree completely, man. I have not. That's a lot. I was going to say I haven't been back to Deathloop. I played Deathloop once during this past week, I reckon, for about an hour, and it still just doesn't resonate with me. The big one for me, though, we should be talking about Far Cry. Don't let me get off on a rant. Far Cry, I absolutely love it. Now, have you? Here's my tip to anyone out there: when you first get to build your base, make sure you set up the what's it called, Guerrilla Network. Did you, by any chance, Steve, invest in the Guerrilla Network yet?
I did today, actually.
Perfect. Have you seen what it gives you? Yes, like have you experienced the buffs?
Go through them with you. I know I've got certain things from it. I know one of the things I unlocked was the wingsuit.
Yeah, the wingsuit one. But what it does, it gives you like, I'm making up numbers here, 12, I want to say, 12 new spawn points across the map. So you don't have to drive and fly, but you just spawn anywhere, approximately close. You don't have to have been there before. They have absolutely streamlined the Far Cry experience in this game. It's brilliant.
And I'm going to sort of jump on the back of that as well and say those spawn things. What I like is the fact that you can do the airdrop as well. So if you've got a checkpoint close by, you can airdrop and just fly to where you need to go. It's taken fast travel to a whole new level, I think.
It totally has. And I don't know if you worked this one out, man, but if you prioritize the anti-air turret things, if you go and take all those out first, you just get free run of dropping yourself anywhere on the island. I've broken so many missions by flying in, landing on the roof, killing one guy and flying off. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and then once I finally realised I needed some kind of grenade or dynamite to take those things out, it made it much easier as well.
Have you got the big, my favourite crossbow thing? It's this one on screen now.
Yeah, I do.
You've got a big blade, but that thing is brilliant. That, hangs people into the wall. It'll lift them up and launch them into the wall. It's phenomenal. I think
it was the first resolver weapon. Yeah, it was one of the first resolver weapons I think I unlocked, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it was my 5th, I want to say. I didn't pick it up till real recently, but now that I've started playing with it, the only thing I wish it had more than 7 bolts that you could carry around with you. If it was unlimited ammo, I'd be in all sorts of fun.
What amigos have you unlocked?
Now, Amigos, you
got the crocodile?
Excuse me. Thank you. The pets. Yes. So I've just got the crocodile and the dog in the wheelchair. They're the only 2 I've unlocked.
Chorizo, I believe his name is.
I think the dog in the wheelchair might have been a pre-order bonus thing. I don't even think I unlocked him as such in game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually I did a mission where you had to get him some crocodile meat, and then you get him as a
that rings a
amigo
bell.
after that.
Yeah, that rings a bell. That is what happened.
Yeah, and I've just unlocked Boom Boom, who's the dog from Far Cry 5.
Oh, that's cool.
There was a side mission. You had to go find a weapon from America, and then you find you find a crate, and then you find the puppy dog.
That is awesome. Did they? Oh, had it lost it? The crates. Oh, do you have any tips for me, Steve? With the I can't remember what they called them in game, but you get the CB radio or whatever, and then there's a supply drop with a smoke thing, and then
the
a
yellow
3.5 minute timer, and you get across the map. Is there a tip to that before you get to the helicopters? I could not finish one of those missions until I unlocked helicopters, but I'm sure there's a really simple way to do it that I just missed.
I don't know. The first one I did, I literally just ran across the map and found like horse things along the way, and just made my very first one by about probably 10 seconds or something. But if you keep running across the map, you always find cars, which I don't use a lot of the cars. The only one thing in this game I wish they did, they've got a lot of the third person stuff inside the camps. I kind of wish they had third person driving.
Yes, yep.
Flying and stuff.
Yep, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I don't find myself driving a lot because you don't get a lot of vision. It's very hard to see your surroundings. I just think riding stuff in third person would make the game a bit more fun in terms of the traveling in vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, man, I agree completely. But to your earlier point, once I'd taken out the anti-air guns and got that wingsuit and was dropping in anywhere, I'm not driving anywhere. I'm just constantly airdropping and flying in places. But yeah, I take your point, man. When you are driving, it would be awesome if you could get it out.
Now, is it just me, or does this Far Cry seem very much like a first-person Just Cause?
Yes, they are very much getting it. Now, I haven't seen it yet, and I don't know. Is there a grappling hook in the game? I don't know that there is one, but you've said Just Cause, and it made me wonder.
Oh, only just the grapple thing that you get, which gets you up places, but no such grappling hook. But just the flavour of the game, the colours of the game, it takes itself a little bit less seriously. I know there's some serious tones in the game and stuff, but obviously you've got an alligator that follows you around that you can send to attack people.
Sorry, go.
I was going to say, I had to laugh today. I was like swimming in the ocean. I had my crocodile with me. I'm like, this doesn't seem safe.
Well, I went. You sent me the SMS, man, of was it a crocodile helmet you had on?
Oh yes,
and you said it was the side mission. So I went and found it and did that mission, and I couldn't work out how to put it on. Am I wrong? You sent me a photo with you wearing that helmet, yeah?
Yes.
How do you equip the helmet? I put it in my inventory, and now I can't equip it. It's not in like my headpiece gear, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh no, that's exactly where mine is.
Oh well, mine's like in the inventory tab. I picked up 4 of them, and I've got one in an inventory tab, like 3 things over, but it's not the tab where you change out your outfit. So it's not like I have it as an option for a helmet replacement, if that makes sense.
So have you gone into helmets and it's not there?
Correct. Yes, exactly.
Oh, that is odd because I literally have it in there. It provides like buffs against pretty much all types of damage. So it's a over the top helmet that gives you so much damage protection. So it's really good. But it's strange that you don't have access to it.
It exists as like a quest item. You know how quest item is like Cyberpunk. Like a quest item. You can't really do much. It just sits there. That's what I've got.
Finished the mission?
Oh, was it? I thought
where
it was
you get it?
No, well, I was just there for the what do you call it? Treasure hunt. I was there on a treasure hunt.
Oh no! So there's a mission that takes you there as well. Where the mission giver gives you have to get something and you have to get that helmet, and then he puts it on you in a cutscene halfway through the mission, and then you must get it after that. So that would explain it.
That explains it beautifully. But I got there and I got the helmet. And I was like, "I'm going to look like Unky Dunky," and nope, I can't put it on my head. What's going on? I've been sucked in.
We should probably move on. We've talked about we've got lots of other stuff to talk about, but this game, it's got that classic Ubisoft hooks into me now.
It does. I am there into it. Now, this one on screen, I want to thank, firstly, the game developers for this. This is Golf Club Wasteland. Indie developed, small team. It was either 6 or 8 people. I looked it up and now I've forgotten. It was either 6 or 8 people. Small people made it. It's a 3-hour game. I think I finished it in 3 hours. But phenomenally enjoyable. If you like golf, like mini golf stuff, like it's just that mini golf hole. Oh, I just nudged it a centimetre past the cup. How frustrating. Like it's that level of thing. But it looks cool. It sounds cool. Steve, you've played it, mate. What were your thoughts?
I have, mate. I actually thought I was going to jump in for probably, mate, 5 minutes and just go, yep, just so I can say I've played it, just so I can have a chat about it. But I found myself getting sucked into the mechanics of the golf and the art style and the music. It's just a very chill experience. It was just quite fun to make the physics of the ball work really well within the game as well.
Yep.
Which I found quite enjoyable and quite frustrating sometimes, as I can see on the screen now. You're trying to hit the ball up onto a rock thing.
And it occurs to me as I look at this, I'm like, wasn't this the last or second last level? I probably should have put in footage of like an easy course to make it look the game is seriously approachable, guys. It's really enjoyable and really approachable, and I probably shouldn't have shown you footage of the last level.
How did you go in terms of trophies for this game? Because is there a platinum for it? Have you looked?
No, I haven't. I looked at I think I finished with 27% of the trophies unlocked, but I didn't look any further.
Oh, because I unlocked 3 trophies, I reckon, in the first 2 minutes of playing.
Good work. You're obviously a better golfer than me. It took me a good 20 minutes, I think, before I got the first trophy.
Yeah, I think it was the second hole of the game. I got a hole in one, and that popped the trophy. And for getting par, my par on that course is a hole in one, apparently.
So. And a hole in one. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that was nice. And I wanted to bring up because I thought it was quite funny. I made a note of it when I was playing about. I think I spoke to you about it earlier. There's a building in the background.
If you wait, Steve, well, it's in this loop, mate. But go.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in the loop somewhere.
Yeah, so on a building is the words hipster pubes.
And it's advertising too. It's like it's a hotel's name. It's really bizarre.
It's really bizarre. Like one of the guys making this game is going, I wonder what we can put in. It's the most random thing ever. I don't know. This guy's a hipster and I can see his pubes. Yeah, hipster pubes.
Yeah, so as I don't know, Steve, you're on a delay and then everyone else is on an even bigger delay. But we've just finished that hole. This hole we're going into now, if you eagle eyes, it's on the background. One of those buildings in the background has it written
beautiful
right now if you're looking closely.
I'm looking.
And it's not that Asian text. I can't read it.
That's a very, very, very cool game. I don't know what does it retail for, do you know?
I have no idea. I'm sorry. As I said, the developer sent me the code, so I don't know what it costs.
That's right. If you keep talking about this game for a brief sec, I'll find out how much it costs.
By all means. Now, I'll point out to everyone on the screen, if you look here, I'm just about to make this shot over, and I believe it's about 4 buildings to the right here.
Sorry, can you just go with the name of the game? I actually typed in hipster pubes.
What you're looking for, Steve, is Golf Club Wasteland. Not hipster pubes. Don't put hipster pubes in the PlayStation or Xbox. You're probably not going to get this game up.
There we go. That's better. Golf Club Wasteland. There we go. It retails for... Oh, it's going to tell me that I've already purchased it. Play on console. It's not going to give me a price, is it?
No, that's the same problem I've got. That's why I can't look it up. Anyway, I think it's a beautiful game. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. If you've got spare change, I'd get it now, but it also has Game Pass written all over it. I haven't read, seen, or heard anything about it, but this seems to me like if you probably waited 6 months, I reckon you could play for free in Game Pass. And at that point, you're crazy to not play it. It's so good. So good.
It's $14.95 on the US store, so it's probably about $20 here.
22, that'll be Australian then, I reckon.
Yep, there you go, about that. So I reckon it's worth the money.
Yeah, 100%. I absolutely loved it. Once again, thank you very much to the developers for sending those codes. We love it. That was great. All right, now, game notes number 3 is, of course, the Crisis Trilogy. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the Crisis Trilogy, so I can't do Let's Install. So don't go looking on the channel for Let's Install Crisis 2 or 3. But what you can see is me playing Crisis 1 Remastered, which was included in this trilogy that Steve has. Over to you, Steve.
Yeah, mate, I love the Crisis games. So I'm going to put that out there first. That, along with sort of the Far Cry games back in the game, were some of my favourite first-person shooters. So, and I actually went back recently and played Crisis 2 just backwards compatible on the Xbox and was really enjoying it. I just couldn't stand
the New York one?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was just the 30 frames per second and the slightly dated graphics that made it a bit hard to get over. But now with that shiny,
would be unplayable.
Oh, it is. I think the older gen consoles now, the Xbox One X and that, they do a very smooth 30. I watched the Digital Foundry's video on Crisis 2 for that, and they reckon it runs one of the sturdiest 30 frames you'll ever see. That it's so smooth that it's not that bad. So
yeah, wild.
But obviously us with our brand spanking new, high-end consoles, we can run the thing at 4K and 60 frames, and the game looks absolutely gorgeous.
Fantastic. I love it. Now, are you specifically just talking about Crisis 2 here? Just so everyone's on the same page?
At the moment, yeah.
Yep,
so I've got Crisis 2. I've finished Crisis 1 remastered back. I think it came out last year. I think we were trying to debate last episode.
We were debating last
when it came out.
I think you vamp. I'll look it up right now.
It was 2020, I believe. I think I was right with the 2020. But Crisis 2, playing that at the moment, buttery smooth, and just as soon as you hear that first maximum armor,
that
back
voice.
in it.
Yes, I love it.
Yes, so I just love the suit. That'll come up again later this episode. Keep your ears peeled for that.
Oh yes,
but yeah, love the suit, the maximum armor. Just the gunplay in that game is brilliant. The ragdoll effects and the way there's items and stuff that move within the game as well. Like there's a sort of slight interactivity with stuff. You can pick up a lot of things in the game and throw them at enemies, and they all react accordingly. And I think the stealth's done really well. The fact that you can sort of, if they do pick up where you are, you can hit your stealth camo stuff.
Now, it is very similar to Far Cry, so how does the stealth compare to Far Cry's stealth?
The fact that you can go invisible helps a lot.
Yeah, but, that suit never got enough charge, though. I always needed to stay invisible for like another 3 seconds.
You got it invisible and you got to crouch so you don't use it up too. And as soon as you jump, forget about it. But the fact that the enemies will still concentrate their... Yeah, the enemies will concentrate their fire where they remember you being, so you can then stealth out and then sort of work your way around them, and they've got no idea. So it's really fun stealth mechanics.
That's cool.
And landing headshots in that game and being able to adjust your weapons to chuck silencers on them or different scopes and stuff that you pick up as well. I even found like a silenced shotgun, which was very satisfying to use the other day.
Nice. Now, this is a real deep cut, and I don't think you would have gone there, but have you checked the trophies with the last time they came out? Have they changed the trophy list from the original? Do you know?
No, I'm not sure. I don't believe they have changed any of that. I'm playing on the Xbox, though, as well.
Yeah, right.
But I believe all the achievements are the same as what they were before. I've read nothing about them sort of updating achievements or anything like that.
I'm rapidly searching my memory to try and remember. Was it Crisis 2 back in the day I'm talking? Was it Crisis 2 or Crisis 3 that had a multiplayer trophy that, because the multiplayer support never got there, hardly anyone ever unlocked it? You needed like 50 or 100 online kills, and no one ever played it online, so you couldn't do it. Yep. I can't remember which game that was. It was one of them.
I think it was 2, and none of the multiplayer, I must mention, none of the multiplayer has come across into this trilogy remastered.
Well, they've fixed that problem then. Well played.
Yeah, and I do actually, the first trophy I did, first achievement I unlocked in playing Crisis 2 was Can It Run Crisis was the name of the achievement. An age-old joke, but it looks like they've finally got Crisis and Crisis 2 and 3 running very well on next-gen hardware and PCs, so it's good to see.
Fantastic. I can't wait for it to hit Game Pass. And I'll check it out.
Oh, that'd be nice. It's better than spending hard-earned cash, eh?
Oh, yes, every day of the week. And what else is better than Crisis? Vacuuming ghosts in a mansion, I suspect. Steve, have you been playing Luigi's Mansion 3?
Mate, I have. You might want to call this one an unsolved case or a revisit at the moment, because it's that time of the year. It's October. It's Halloween.
Oh, yes.
I've never actually finished Luigi's Mansion 3, but my son, who's 6 years old, loves Halloween, and back in the day he could sort of play it, but his finger dexterity is getting slightly better these days. So I thought we'd go back into it and play something a bit more child friendly than the Back 4 Blood that he keeps wanting to play. We've been coming in.
How are you going as Luigi? Do you get told to put your controller down as much as I get told to put my controller down?
I am actually playing Luigi. He is my Luigi. Yeah.
I got I got relegated, excuse me, to Luigi, and then half the time I'm not even allowed to touch the controller. Dad, only pick it up when I need your help. Otherwise, just watch. Okay.
Yeah, so your son must be better at games than me, than Ollie, because I don't think we'd be anywhere near where we are in the game at the moment if Ollie was playing Luigi. But he's a very good Luigi at the moment, and he's a very good backup support to myself.
Let me ask you this one, Steve. Has playing with me prepared you to play with young children?
I think it has.
It's developed your patience, and it's developed your ability to read what's on screen and tell the other person, because they didn't.
It really has. It really has, especially with platformers. So, that this is a platform, but I have to say, replaying this game, has to be one of the best Switch games still to this date, I think, in terms of the gameplay, the puzzle solving, the actual animation, and the graphics for a Switch game, the lighting 100%. In it, and reflections that I don't know how they got this on a tiny little Switch cartridge, because it runs so well and it's so well presented.
It looks phenomenal, man. I hadn't looked at this game maybe in 3 months, and then today I don't have a Switch out here in the studio, so I bring the boys Switch out if I ever need to capture it. So I brought it out today and I was capturing the footage, and I was blown away by how well it was running, like 1080p, but God, it looks good. Such a good looking game.
Really good, and it's just, I don't know, it's just something joyous about playing it. Like, it's just a really, really fun game. So if you haven't played Luigi's Mansion, don't sleep on it any longer. It's still one of the best games on the Switch.
And as we were alluding to, fantastic couch co-op one. If you do have young kids, pick up that second controller, have yourself a blast. It's really good value.
Oh, it doesn't get better. Just the teamwork you got to do. They actually sort of make you use as Luigi and Luigi as well. It's
it's a little
not many games like it.
A Way Out and It Takes Two. Luigi gives me those vibes in some very small parts.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're up for something that's really fun this holiday, well, when I say holiday season, I mean Halloween season, if you like something spooky, get into Luigi's Mansion. Fantastic
game. Holds up really well. Couldn't agree with you more, Steve. And then finally, what have I hit? The wrong button, maybe? Is it that one? Is this going to work? Oh, I think I'm breaking it. Is the stream still working? My whole computer's struggling. I'm going to go hit a button manually and hope this works. Sorry, everyone. Apologies. One button shy. Here we go. All right. So, fifth and final game, Back for Blood. As I was saying at the start, Steve and I did a community Let's Play with Back for Blood with both Aaron and Gaming Raptor last night on the channel. You can dial back and check that one out if you like. But I absolutely loved it. Steve, what were your thoughts?
Really good. Really, it's hard.
Yes.
If you watch the stream, you'll see how much we struggle, and that's the last half of that.
In your defense, Steve, I don't think you were struggling at all, mate. I think you were saddled with 3 people who weren't particularly focused.
That's okay. I'd run that level before, so I sort of know, but it was definitely harder. They must scale for human players. Definitely. In the game, because I played this level solo and got through it just fine.
Well, so what we're watching now is I picked up from the checkpoint we were at, and then this is me playing to that next checkpoint solo with the bots. That's exactly what we're looking at.
Yeah. Awesome game. Ran flawlessly, as we said on the stream, on our current consoles. Apparently there was a few issues with the older gen consoles running it nicely at all.
I think the Series X was running it just fine, but the the Series X was, the Xbox One X was running it fine, but I believe the One S was having issues. So if you've got a One S, you might want to avoid this one.
Yeah, so a little buyer beware, but if you've got one of the next gen consoles, if you want something fun, co-op, handles really well, it's definitely worth your time, especially if it's on Game Pass at the moment. You've got Game Pass because it's essentially free for you, so you're going to have to fork any hard-earned cash at all.
And if you played, this is obviously by the same developers who did Left 4 Dead back in the day. So if you're a Left 4 Dead fan, this is that modernized. So if you love that game but hadn't heard of this one, jump in. You're in for a treat. Very enjoyable.
That's right. I mean, if you're just a solo player, maybe not.
You definitely want a team for this one.
That's right. Go back to, Far Cry 6 if you want something for a solo player. This game is much more fun with co-op.
Yes, preferably one with co-op where people are focused.
Next time. There's always next time.
Oh, we can't rush these things. Oh, my goodness. Now, would be the time for Standoff, but I don't think that I didn't put those on my switcher, so I can't do it. That's frustrating. I apologize, everyone. I had a whole standoff ready to go, but I just haven't loaded in. Steve, do you want to vamp for a minute and I can set it up?
Yeah, man, no stress. What can we talk about?
Well, you can tell us more antics about last night's stream and remind people they should go watch it.
Well, you should go watch it. I think, how long did we spend on it last night? It was probably about an hour and a half, I think, in the end. I think I was planning on playing for about an hour, but an hour and a half, the time just flew by with the boys on that one.
It was such a good game. And they were generous checkpoints too. I think the big difference between playing Back for Blood and what's Sea of Thieves was Sea of Thieves needs 3 times the amount of checkpoints that they give it. Not Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood nails their checkpointing. I think it's superior.
They do too. That's another game we have to play. You have to check out. I don't know if it's Game Pass, but that World War Z Aftermath, I think it's called.
Yes.
I think World War Z. I think World War Z is Game Pass, but the Aftermath expansion you have to pay for.
Right.
But I actually feel like that game's probably more fun and better balanced than what Back 4 Blood was last night.
Yeah, okay. And is that also 4-player multiplayer, or is it not?
It is. Yep.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yep, same kind of thing. Different characters, all have different skills. You pick up different weapons, you upgrade your characters. If you die, you come out. Everything that you sort of unlock during that period, all the skills you get come back. You can spend it on upgrading all your weapons and everything. It now runs at 4K 60 with the update that it had as well. It's got a first-person mode and a third-person mode.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's now got, how many campaigns? I think it's like maybe 10 to 12 different campaigns now as well, with all different characters. So they've all got their own subclasses, like your assault medic and stuff, but they're all different actual like people in each campaign that you use. And I think there's one that's got the surname Popov, so I was like, that's cool.
Well, yeah.
That's in the Russian one. That's in the Russian campaign.
Is there many games? Like, did you check out MLB The Show? What was that, 21 this year? Did they have it? They do some surname support.
They might have had. No, they did have it, I think.
Perfect.
I think I was able to.
Theirs was pretty extensive, but you got to love that, man.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, there's lots of co-op games out there. Another one I wouldn't mind trying with you is that Aliens, what was it called? Aliens something that came out this year. Co-op, 4-person co-op shooter. Yeah.
That one. I'm sorry, man. There is no way I'm going to be able to do this and keep us on air at the same time. I apologize to everyone. Standoff was ready and it was brilliant, but you're going to have to wait till next week. We won't say what it is, Steve. We'll just carry it over straight into next week.
Oh, easy, man. Easy.
I apologize to everyone. I was not ready to stand off. In fact, I'll sit down. Well, with that, unfortunately, out of the way, let's move on then to the news.
Right to remain newsworthy.
The right to remain newsworthy. Indeed. Now, the biggest announcements from DC's fandom. Over to you, Steve.
Mate, did you watch any of the DC fandom stuff?
I did not.
Oh, mate, there's a lot in there.
Tell me things.
So firstly, mate, do you like Batman?
I love Batman. Big Batman fan.
Have you watched much of did you see the old trailer for the new Batman movie coming out with Pattinson?
No, I have not seen any new Batman.
Oh, mate, you need
I haven't seen production stills. I've seen nothing.
Oh, mate, the new Batman, you've got to check out the new trailer. It looks insane. I can't wait for this Batman. It's a slightly darker take again on Batman.
Darker than Nolan's.
Yeah, yep.
That I can't even picture what Darker Than Nolan's is, but I look forward to finding out.
Oh, I can't wait. It looks like the main villain's going to be the Riddler in this one.
Nice.
Which is cool. It's a slightly younger Batman, a bit more reckless Batman. I think Catwoman's going to make an appearance as well.
Oh, who's playing Catwoman?
That is a good question. She's an actress I hadn't actually.
My apologies. I'll stop asking you crazy questions.
No, that's all right. She does seem to play the part quite well in the trailer. She does seem to fit the role really well, and I'm really excited to see this movie. I think it's coming out 2022. I think possibly an April release. They've said for this. No, sorry, March 4th, 2022.
Do we know? I'm starting to think we must be at films that were actually shot during COVID at this point, like. Up until this point, I suspect we're just looking at films that were in post-production for the last year and a half. But
yeah, I reckon.
Do you know if the Batman was shot during COVID or pre-COVID?
I believe it was shot during COVID, so I think they paused it for a while as well.
I'm going to be fascinated to see how those films look. I don't even know how you'll notice, if you can notice, but I'll be looking for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was the big trailer I think that most people were excited for. But in terms of video games, we got the latest story trailer for the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, which is being done by Rocksteady Games, who
there it is, right
famously made the Batman games that we all love.
They did. Now, that Harley Quinn, is that based on the actress Harley Quinn in the second Suicide Squad movie? She was also
in Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does look like her.
It looks a lot like her.
Sounds like her too in the trailer, but I don't think it is.
Considering how different they made Star-Lord look, I'm surprised how similar that looks to her if it's not actually her, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. Well, that being said, Harley Quinn definitely does look very similar in most things she's in. If you're going to go the female with a white face and pink and blue hair, there's not much whole lot much you can do to make her look different.
That's a great point you raised, Steve. You've nailed me on that one, mate. I fully concede the point.
But until we play the game, though, like it depends on what her personality looks like and stuff. But they didn't show any gameplay, but it looked like it was all in-game engine stuff. But this trailer was insane. You need to check it out. Like, this has got me so much more excited. The fact that we're coming off an actual good Suicide Squad movie, I think is going to do wonders for this game.
Can we briefly talk about my favourite thing from the Suicide and the names game? What was the second Suicide Squad called?
Was it just Suicide Squad?
Was it? I don't know. I thought it was Suicide Squad : something. I don't know. Anyway, my point was, I love the start of that film. Spoiler for the first 5 minutes of the second Suicide Squad if you haven't watched it. But if you have, how good was it? How they introduced, all right, here's the new Suicide Squad, and then they kill them all and start again. Best opening to a film ever.
Good.
It's so good. I didn't see it coming. It floored me. I was laughing. It was great.
And just because you had characters that were in the last Suicide Squad, also still tied it to that one, and they just killed them off instantly.
Yeah, it was so well done. It just totally caught me blindside. I thought that was great. Sorry, that was not.
I was going to say, and the thing is, the movie just keeps going in that, like, it doesn't stop. Like, it keeps up its momentum throughout the whole movie.
Yes, that movie is great. First Suicide Squad, trash. Second one,
trash. And let's hope the game is also not trash. Being made by Rocksteady, so they've got pretty good pedigree when it comes to making third-person action games, especially based off superheroes.
They do. Do we know? Is it the same game director? And I don't even know who the game director was on the original Batman films. I'm not asking you to call his name out, but
I'm not sure his name, but I believe it is the same director on this game.
Well, that gives me a lot of faith in it then. Excellent.
It does, and this trailer looks awesome. It's got, you see evil Superman, evil Green Lantern, the Flash is in it, so they're taking down heavy hitters of the Justice League, and it just looks awesome.
Nice, I love it.
And in terms of games as well, we'll jump through to Gotham Knights. Also had another trailer as well, which is the new Batman game.
Yes.
Being made by Warner Brothers as well. I think they did the Batman game that wasn't the Rocksteady game.
Yeah. Yep. That one. What was that called? Oh, gosh. I can picture it. Started with the fist fight. Everyone knows you're Bruce Wayne.
It was set in Christmas time.
Yep, that one. I can picture it, Steve, but I'm not pulling up its name.
But no, this trailer was also like fire. It showed all. It finally dropped the whole Court of Owls plot they're going to go with.
Right.
So I still am unsure whether I think Batman's actually going to be dead in this game. I think there's going to be something to do with the Court of Owls and he faked his own death and stuff. But we've discussed it before.
Yes, and I swear he's coming back as DLC. You've got to pay for Batman in about 6 months after launch.
Yeah, once they bring him back through the main story of Gotham Knights, I reckon, and then you'll be able to play as Batman most likely.
Only if you give him an extra $20 though.
Absolutely. But I can't wait for some more Batman game. I'm excited for this one.
Sign me up. I am keen.
You've got Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin, and Red Hood, I think, are your playable characters, at least for now.
Yeah, DLC Batman 2020. No, we're in 2021, Troy. He didn't come out last year.
Oh, mate, who knows with COVID anymore what year, what day, or what time it is.
I know.
There were a whole bunch of other...
Now, we've got the Peacemaker. Is this John Cena? It looks a lot like him.
It is. John Cena, Peacemaker.
He hasn't stopped in the last 3 years, has he?
No,
He's just made films.
This is his character from Suicide Squad's standalone movie.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
So I haven't watched the trailer for this one yet, but I did like his character in Suicide Squad, so I think he can, and I think John Cena's got a lot of charisma and stuff and can carry a whole film, so I think he's quite a comedic actor as well.
He is enjoyable, but to me, there is like John Cena's here, but then 3 leagues above him is Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Dwayne Johnson, we did get a first look at Black Adam as well.
Oh, how's that looking?
And mate, it looks cool. There was sort of just a glimpse at it. They had sort of showed an early scene from the movie where he sort of comes down and there's some guys there and he grabs a guy and turns him into a skeleton. But it looked awesome. You got to watch it.
Do you see much of him, or is it all like shot like super tight, or like in a way that you don't really see him?
You don't see a lot because he's wearing a cloak at the time with a hood on as well. So I think it's the first time they must be seeing him as well. So it's not in the full get-up, but you see the electricity sort of coursing through the suit, and it looks really cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, so you got to check out all these trailers. It's definitely hype stuff.
Woo! Oh,
that's probably all I need to touch on. I think for the DC fandom stuff.
Well,
I
in
think
that
for
case,
now. Oh, actually, no. One more.
Keep scrolling down.
There was some brief look at the Flash movie as well.
Oh.
And the most exciting thing about the Flash movie, it looks like it's going to have Mr. Michael Keaton as Batman and the Batmobile from the original movies as well.
That's very cool. Now, is this the same Flash? That's a TV show on Netflix, I want to say. Is it the same actor?
And no, so it's the Flash bloke from the DC movies. So Ezra
so that TV
Miller
show has nothing to do with this movie?
No, it doesn't. Unless they sort of do something with because I know they've got lots of multiple multiverse stuff happening, and I know there was a crossover with the DC Flash and the TV Flash. During the TV Flash's show, they actually brought Ezra Miller's Flash into one of those episodes. So whether that's got some kind of crossover and you might see the TV's Flash inside the movie, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, but that's probably all we need to mention about the thing. And mate, there's a lot of trailers. You need to check them out.
Well, I'm actually not a big fan of trailers. I'll be giving them all a miss.
Really?
I'll wait till the main event. In my experience, they give the trailers to the juniors, and the senior storytellers just edit the actual film. And that puts you in a position where the junior editors don't know what they do. Oh, what? I couldn't put in that shot from the last 5 minutes of the film? No, you got to the ending.
Are you the same with game trailers, or will you watch a game trailer? You'll watch a game trailer, obviously.
I will watch some, but typically if it's like a story game I'm interested in, like Last of Us Part 2, I watch none of their story trailers. Like I watch their gameplay trailers, but anything to do with story, forget about it. I'll let Neil Druckmann tell his story at his own pace.
No stress. All right, next news story.
Here we are. Ubisoft has seemingly leaked Rainbow Six Extension's now postponed release date. Now, if you remember, this was originally coming out the end of November, and they put in the game mode as a trial into Rainbow Six Siege, which has been out for 5 years. But like on the weekend, they were beta testing Rainbow Six Extraction, and the game was horrible. I played it like a month ago, and I wouldn't part with 1 cent, and it was free for the whole weekend. I played 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds. And I'm like, no, I'm never going to play this. Not only am I not going to buy the game when it comes out, I'm not going to play this mode for free in the game I've already bought. It's nothing about this game appeals to me.
Wow, so that's probably a good reason it's getting delayed till January then.
I think people may have, and I don't know, I don't even go online to read the message boards, but I'm assuming that many people would have thought that game was very nerfed when they played it as I did. I think Ubisoft would have heard it loud and clear that people were not impressed.
Yeah, wow. Now, just to sort of sidestep briefly to a completely different game, but in relation to betas and stuff, did you get onto the Battlefield 2042 beta at all?
No, I did not. Unfortunately, It was in my time period where I wasn't doing much, and no, unfortunately, I missed it.
Because it seems like that's had similar sort of feedback to what you're giving the Rainbow Six Extraction, is that it doesn't.
Not really.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people up a bit down on it, saying that there's a reason it's delayed, and it probably should even be delayed even longer.
Well, this Rainbow Six Extraction just shouldn't have come out. Like after I played that beta, I'm like, there is nothing like the core Rainbow Six Siege audience wants realism. And Rainbow Six Extraction is like a sci-fi fantasy thing. It's like they're trying to pull in the sci-fi fantasy audience that don't play Siege because it's a simulator. Like it's a simulator, It's not your fantasy thing. And then you throw these fantasy elements in it. It's like, now you've broken the simulation and it's not a good fantasy game. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, no. Now, do you remember what they were going to call Extraction before COVID hit?
Was it... no, quarantine, extinction. I got no idea.
Yep, quarantine.
Quarantine, nice.
Probably does need to be that name.
Well, they need to get some Dan Andrews on it and give it some, give it a good 2-year lockdown, take it away, rebuild it, and come back with something else.
They mean a snap 7-day lockdown that lasts 77 days?
Yeah, one of those. Anyway, so Rainbow Six Siege, you can enjoy not paying for it for another few months. Next item on the list, here's the big one. Elden Ring in-world gameplay footage leaked. Now, it's available on Twitter, and there's not much going on here. You just see the player in a world. It looks remarkably similar to how I look when I'm sticking around an environment trying to look for the seams in everything. It looks like someone trying to find the seams in a video game to me, the way the character explores. But it gives me hope and it makes me excited for Elden Ring. And it doesn't do anything for you, Steve.
I was looked at it, I'm like, yep, that looks like a Dark Souls game. Just the way the character's moving, you're like, yep, this is definitely made by the same people. It's definitely footage from Elden Ring. You've never seen any sort of vistas like that in those games, so it's got to be Elden Ring.
And it's so
I've got no problems with its legitimacy.
The sky is so bright and colourful. It's just not.
Yeah, it just kind of looks up there and sees that, like, it looks like a giant sort of tree thing that's going on there, but it just it looks pretty cool. But you don't get a whole lot of action other than him trying to walk around a rock and that. But exciting. I can't remember that game's early next year or whether they've given us a date or not.
I think it wasn't it like Jan 20th originally, I think. I'm going to say Jan 20th, but that's not me looking it up. And I've got the world's worst memory, so don't listen to me.
But no, very exciting. I don't know where this has come from with you. Yeah.
I was so excited when I saw this because I really want to get my hands on the next FromSoft game. I can't wait.
Oh, mate, I didn't even know about this until I saw you post it today as a news story. So I was very excited to check it out.
Oh, yes. Good stuff. What else we got? Oh, here's the other good one from today. That's up beautifully. Do you remember, Steve, that company come out bold? Go ahead, PlayStation or Sony, sue me. And now they have. Sony's followed up with a lawsuit. Well, threatened them with a lawsuit, and they backed down pretty quick. I love it that they tried to call Sony's bluff, and then Sony said, "Oh, we're not bluffing."
Oh, it's pretty funny when you look at it like, sue me. Okay, we will. Okay, please don't.
Yeah.
We back down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't hurt me.
I just wanted to laugh at that, Ari. That's a funny story. Anyway, moving on to the next story. Now, here's one that's near and dear to my heart. The big 6 gig beta patch for Returnal. It's all rumors and scuttlebutt online. Now, I didn't know this, Steve. I read it in this very article from Video Games Chronicle, but they go into detail that apparently if your PlayStation account is, within the beta realm, that's all it needs to be to get access to like the next lot of patches that we can't see on the domestic release. But I didn't realize it was one system. I assumed there was like a developer ecosystem over here and a, actual published like product system over here, and they weren't integrated. I didn't realize they were sitting on top of each other the way this article details. It's wild. But big 6 gig patch, so hopefully I can finally get my last 2 ciphers on biome number 2 and then get that platinum. And then I think it's very comfortably going to be sitting in the top spot for the Game of the Year.
Yeah, it's definitely up there still for me. 6 gigs a big update. I just wonder what else they could be doing with it. Is this going to see that, another save system put in there that people have been asking for ages? And the
rumor is that it's a new biome. And they're still looking at the save game feature. Me reading between the lines, I would go so far as to suggest they've added a 7th biome and haven't added a save feature, and hopefully fixed the cipher issue on biome 2.
Yeah, the more you play that game, like you realize to do a run actually doesn't take that long when you get good at the game and when you're sort of in that flow. So like a save system for me in the end, like at the start I was griping about saying, I wish I could just flick over to a game and resume where I was up to. But at the end of the day, your run can end that quickly that it doesn't really matter like where you're at in the level.
Yeah.
You still need to have that perfect RNG and just really hope you have a good run. But by the end of it, you sort of work out what weapons work, what don't, and then provided you get that drop, then you're fine.
Yeah, absolutely. That game is so good. I wish I could pull up on that stat screen, Steve. I know everyone's complaining, hour-long session, can't save, terrible. Honestly, I never had that problem. I don't think I ever had a run that went for more than 45 minutes.
And that's saying a lot. So, Troy, can you remember how many hours you've played this game for?
It's almost at 6 days. It's like 5 days and 16 hours and change, I think, last time I looked.
So I don't know if you can probably do the maths on the top of your head, but that's a lot of 45-minute sessions.
It is. It's a lot. It's up over 600, I'll have you know, Steve.
Wow. That's a lot.
Oh, yes. I love that game. I think I think a high death count is high praise.
Absolutely. And it's one of those games, mate. I've platinumed that game, and that game's still on my console, even though it takes up 34-ish gigs or something. It's still there. I can't bring myself to take it off my hard drive yet.
I did the rage uninstall when I couldn't get those last 2 ciphers, so it's not on my hard drive console. But
that's fair enough.
I can't wait to reinstall it and pop that platinum. Woo!
Oh, mate, I can't wait for you. I'll be all about it for you.
And I love that I would argue no skill required to get those last two ciphers. It's not like I've got to defeat a
not at all,
boss.
mate.
So my
That will take you
skills,
no time at all.
my skills that have all disappeared, doesn't matter. I'll still be able to get the platinum. So I'm pumped. I can't wait for Housemarque to officially announce it. This is all based on a rumor. People looking at this other level of developer access to the PlayStation 5, revealing these 6 gig patches. It's wild stuff.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm just looking at the chat. Sean Games has been in there a lot of the night.
Glad you're on it, Steve. I've got too many buttons to press.
No, that's fair.
Hold on, mate. We've got one story and then we'll go to Q&A. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Well, it's not even really a story. Yes, it is. No, wait, that's I know what I've done here. I need to hit this button. Bear with me. I pasted the wrong link, if you can believe it.
Oh, I know what we're going to.
Oh, that's not... Burp. Oh, you goose, Troy. It's all right. I can fix it. Steve, vamp for me.
I know what he's looking for, people, but yeah, Returnal. I mean, we've talked about the game how many times on this channel
so
this year.
There's an entire playlist on this channel dedicated to that fabulous game.
Oh, just in terms of games of the year, it has to be up there for me at the moment. I could potentially maybe see Halo end of the year. Like I know a lot of people.
Ooh, you reckon?
Halo's a game of the year tender, but I'm reckoning they're going to get it right. They've had a year since that game was supposed to come out.
That's a big call, man.
Man, I played that flight program. That multiplayer's looking very good as well.
Where do you sit, Steve, on are we seeing both the campaign and the multiplayer this year, or is the delayed console by 1 week in, I want to say it was India. I could be wrong.
No, I reckon they've come out and said they're going to have the campaign and the multiplayer day one. They just won't have, I think it was the online co-op campaign won't be available, and neither will Forge on launch. That's going to be next year. So, but they have said they will have the campaign and multiplayer out on launch day.
Well, there you have it. Fair enough and perfect. Now, I've got to hit this one again to get the laptop up. I apologise.
20 years old a couple of days ago. Now I feel old.
Yeah, you and I both. That's a bit sad. Here's what's not sad. On Game Informer, new releases coming out this week, Steve. Starting from the top with Nuclear Blaze on October 18. What's that today? Look out.
That's today?
October 18?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah, it's today.
It's today. Nuclear Blaze is out. Tomorrow is what? Inscription, I assume that's meant to say. Into the Pit. Stop Me When I Hit One You Like. Corpse Party. Grotto Release. What? Oh, no, it's just called Grotto. Platform releases the subheadings. Town Scraper? Nope.
No,
the last one is the only one I've heard of. It's the Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes. Now, is this the third game in that trilogy, as I understand it?
Third game. So what do we have? We've had Man of Medan. Well, we've had the first game was Until Dawn, but that's not part of the same trilogy. You've got Man of Medan, Little Hope, I think the other one was.
That does sound about right.
There's Little Hope, which I haven't played, which some people say they really like, some people don't.
But I only heard negative things. I'm glad to hear you heard some positives.
No, so I've actually had some friends play it, and they really enjoyed it. So it wasn't more so from reviews and stuff, because reviews and stuff have sort of mostly knocked it for not being great at all.
Yes.
But I've had people that I know play it and actually really enjoyed it. So it sort of made me second guess whether I should play it or not. But this one, from what I've seen, the way they've it's not fixed camera angles anymore. It plays more like a third person thing where you can actually control the camera around your character now.
Okay. I didn't know they were making... I assumed that being part of a trilogy, they weren't going to change anything on a fundamental level.
Yeah, no. So it looks like they've gone, so you can actually control your character properly with the left stick, and you control your character with the right stick. I think you've got torches and stuff, so it's similar to Alan Wake, moving the camera around. I'm not sure what the combat or anything looks like at the moment, but there are army veteran characters in the game. So whether they're going to be using any kind of third-person shooting mechanics, I don't know. From all the gameplay we've seen, it's all very early, and it's about these characters dropping into a tunnel and finding some kind of supernatural thing. But I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what this one looks like and how it reviews compared to the other two that have come out, to mediocre scores.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that you could have either bought the trilogy already or you can buy them piecemeal. Is that correct?
You might be able to buy them part of the trilogy. I think you can buy it part of the trilogy. You're just waiting for them to unlock, essentially, or you just buy them separately.
Yes, but this is the last one. Good that they improved on the end. Unfortunate that the middle sounds like some people didn't enjoy it as much.
No, that's right. So I hope this is a return to form for them. I think what everyone really wants to see and what I want to see is an Until Dawn 2.
Oh, yes.
Was that game for me. That was one of the best sort of couch co-op. When I say couch co-op, me playing, the wife watching and picking what happens and yelling at the TV and finding out what button prompts we need to push to survive and discussing the story over lunch and everything. It was so much fun. So I'd really love to sort of play another one of those.
Yeah, man, absolutely. We're going to fire it up on the channel.
And I think these games, they've got some kind of co-op, don't they? They've got actual co-op where you play as different characters at different times, I believe, as well. I know Man and Medan did.
I do not know if they're multiplayer. This is beyond my realm of knowledge.
I think they are, and they're a very different kind of multiplayer where you're literally playing through the same story, but someone will be playing one character, the other player will be playing another character, similar to like maybe It Takes Two, but obviously a bit more dark and stuff, but you're trying to solve stuff together and seeing different things. So it'd be very interesting to play on the channel potentially.
100%. I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. Let's hope it comes to Game Pass so it can indeed appear on the channel.
Well, it's definitely the only game coming out this week worth even looking at.
Yeah, the only one this week you want to worry about. Now, here we are finally at the bottom of the rundown. We're up to the audience interrogation. Now, did you suggest Sean was there to be interrogated?
Is in there, Sean? Do you have any questions you want us to answer for you? I mean, you've had a few things in the chat tonight. I'll see if there's anything else we can answer for you.
Oh, just scrolling back up here, I can see Sean also big fan of the Far Cry 6.
Beautiful.
Gotta love that. Oh, Sean's also a fan of Back 4 Blood. That makes a lot of sense.
Nice. Oh, he says Halo comes out when Game Awards happen. I think I did say that. I think it comes out it's the same day as the Game Awards, I believe.
I believe it's the day
December
before.
8th.
I think
December 8th?
Is Halo December 8th and then Game Awards December 9th?
That could be right. You could be right. Yep.
I could obviously also be very wrong. Now, yeah, Sean is confirming Far Cry 6 is his game of the year. I need to finish it yet. But once again, I'll say it. I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. I've seen nothing in Far Cry 6 yet that stops it from getting game of the year.
And I have heard that a lot of people are saying the last two missions in that game are some of the best, or two of the best missions Far Cry has ever put out. So,
very good.
It gets me excited to get to the end of that game.
Yes. Now, I unfortunately fell into a Joe Rogan podcast hold last time I was playing Far Cry 6, and I started skipping cutscenes. So the middle bit of that story, now, I find Joe Rogan to be incredibly entertaining. So whether Joe Rogan was just particularly entertaining or whether the Far Cry 6 story peters off at the 20-hour mark, I'll let somebody else decide. But that's certainly been my experience.
All you really have to know is that you're getting a whole bunch of different groups together to sort of band together against Castillo is pretty much it, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Smaller stories, interpersonal stories between characters and stuff here and there, but that's the overall arching story, I believe.
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of like in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where, it was you make a king in like 12 different kingdoms, but it's essentially the same story 12 times.
Yes, exactly.
And running it out here, Steve, do we have some questions from the audience? First one here, Danny Rojas, I'm going to say. His question is, our most anticipated game for the rest of this year, Steve?
I think I've probably already said
Halo? It sounds like Halo for you.
It's definitely going to be Halo. I don't see any other game sort of coming close towards the end of the year that's sort of got the hype of that game for me. I can't believe us Call of Duty's coming out, but no, Halo.
Until you said it about 20 minutes ago, mate, I was so pumped to get into Battlefield. I hadn't heard any feedback. I didn't realize the beta hadn't gone so well. Now I'm a little bit nervous. So I would have said Battlefield was my most anticipated game, but no longer. I've been scared off it, and I'm sitting right there with you in the Halo camp, Steve.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That's going to wrap it up for us today, I think. Oh, hold on. One's just come in from Sean. Do you think we will see another single-player Assassin's Creed game?
Yep.
Yes, probably, but the current Ubisoft team don't really seem to know what they're doing. So, yes, there will be another single-player Assassin's Creed, but you might have to wait 10 years for a good one.
Yeah, I agree with you. The franchise is too big, makes them far too much money to not. And the problem they do now is the way they create these games, they just have endless DLC for them. So they've got people spending money on, hand and foot just on Valhalla continuously, and keep adding pretty decent DLC to it. So I think you see the lifespan of Assassin's Creed sort of start to spread out further and further. It's had like 10 years potentially till you see a new one. Maybe not that long, but it's definitely going to be longer than the 3-4 years we're used to.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, don't get me wrong, Steve. I suggest they will release 1 or 2. I'm just not expecting a good one for 10 years.
True.
They're going to get a couple of bad ones out of the way, roll over some staff, and then get a good one.
Just give us a Black Flag 2.
Oh, yes. Oh, what was that? Assassin's Creed Rogue, I want to say. Did you ever play it? I never played it, but I understand that was Black Flag 2, wasn't it? The one I never played.
Kind of, yeah.
Did that ever come up to the next-gen console? I remember it got left behind.
It didn't. I think they did a remaster of it recently, but it's not the best of remasters, I don't think. I don't think it's like an overhaul thing. I think it was just updated textures and stuff and frame rate potentially, but...
I think I'll keep investing my hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
But for right now, I'm going to end this stream, and I don't know about you, Steve, but I'm going to play some Far Cry 6.
Absolutely. I think I might do the exact same thing.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this week for episode number 3 of the Gaming Enforcement Agency. Please keep that feedback coming. As our friends made it clear during the week, you can send us your questions during the week, and we will absolutely get to them at the end of this episode. So if you do have questions during the week, feel free to send them through either Discord or email me, troy@geekaloud.com. Either of those would be just fine. But that'll do it for episode 3. Steve, sir, thank you very much, mate.
No worries, mate. Unky Dunky, off duty.
Take it easy, Unky Dunky. Thanks, mate. And everybody else out there, what can you do with Geek Aloud? That's right. Like it, subscribe it. You'll never miss it. Oh, that was luck. Hey, that's something. I love everything about it. Ooh. Old Uncle Donkey.
Donkey.